All right, let's bring in immigration lawyer David Leopold, who can maybe help us sort out what Paul Ryan said. Thank you for coming on our show. What are you getting out of what Paul Ryan said, what the Republicans did today? Do you see any real movement on the Dreamers issue?
No, I don't. You know, it's absurd to think that a group of Republicans, the party of Donald Trump, that a discharge petition or a meeting or whatever, some talk in an election year is going to do anything for the Dreamers. Look, the Republicans have completely embraced Donald Trump. Donald Trump hates immigration. He has done everything possible to end DACA, to deport Dreamers. He canceled DACA. This crisis was created by the Republican Party. So this is so much show. What we really need is a new Congress. That's what we need, obviously, and then 2 years from now, a new president.
David, what do you make of this case from Brooklyn where this pizza delivery man was arrested for simply delivering a pizza? He didn't have the right documents. He was turned over to immigration authorities.
Yeah, you know, David, this really, you know, I'm sitting here as you asked that question thinking, is this really who we are? Is this really what America is? Is this really the country we want to be? Are we safer tonight because they've locked up a pizza delivery man who has a U.S. citizen wife and children? Is that the dream of America? You know, we've got to start getting our priorities straight here. And most Americans don't like this kind of stuff. Most Americans want a fair country. They want the country that lives by the Constitution and by the rule of law. And when you lock somebody up who's delivering a pizza, we got to start asking ourselves what is going on here and how can we change it?
But the counterpoint to that would be, you know, with all the sympathy for this man and his family, he committed a crime by coming into the United States illegally and thus deserves to be deported. What would you say to that?
Well, first of all, we don't know how he came into the United States, number one. And number two, I'm going to make a very strong point here that really gets missed, I think, by a lot of the media. So I'm really glad you asked that question. It is not a crime to be in the United States without documents, period. There are some minor exceptions to that, people who've once been deported and re-entered. But I will tell you that the statutes, the law does not make it a crime to be in the United States without documents. It is a civil violation, to be sure. And so what we're doing is we're taking this man, we're treating him no different than we would treat a convicted felon, somebody who did something very seriously wrong, and we're taking him from his family, and we're throwing him in New Jersey in a prison and counting the hours till the plane takes off. What are we doing here? How does this make us safer tonight? It doesn't. It is a waste of resources, and we really have to get our priorities straight. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement ought to be going after drug dealers, ought to be going after hardened criminals. You commit a crime in this country, yeah, you should go to jail. And yeah, you should face deportation if the crime is serious. But to take a delivery man who's supporting his family, this is not America. This is not what we're supposed to be.
David, along the southwest border, the number of people who are trying to cross that border is way up for the last couple of months. There did seem to be some sort of chilling effect last year when people were so afraid of what Donald Trump was going to do. How do you explain the numbers going up now?
Great question. You know how you explain it? These people who are coming to the border, the same people that Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General of the United States, has said that he's going to prosecute criminally. These people are fleeing horrific violence in Guatemala, in Honduras, in El Salvador. They're not coming up here by choice. They're coming up here to save their lives and their children's lives. That's why there's an uptick. And Donald Trump's threats and Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General's zero tolerance policy does not stop the horrific violence in South America. And these people are fleeing because they're desperate. They are refugees. And that also begs the question, why are the children then being separated from their parents once they get here? Why are the parents being prosecuted as criminals? Just before we went on, I saw a report that they're sending 1,600 of these people to prison. These are refugees, David. America was built as a foundation, a safe haven. This administration needs to get its priorities straight and needs to do right by the American people.
All right. Immigration lawyer David Leopold, thanks for coming on our show.